I'm here to assist you with all your test equipment needs, from multimeters and test weights to patient simulators and x-ray analyzers. If you need guidance or you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write me at jbarber@bcgroupinternational.com.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Better Biomed. Today, I struck gold. I went to the Goodwill. Man, I love going to Goodwill. Although they have some ridiculous prices on most things, especially electronics. Like you can get a typewriter, an old school like word processor style typewriter for like $30. What are they thinking? Those things are absolute garbage. However, every once in a while we find treasure. And I've got treasure right here, folks. This guy right here, they're 99 cents each. 99 cents, brand new. These are Greenlight Powerstrips. They're tier 1 advanced Powerstrips, according to what they say here. Guys, I'm actually pretty excited. I figure, if anything, I'm going to use one of them. But let's tear into the other one, and let's go into some of those details and see, maybe I don't want this thing in my house at all. I mean, you would think there's a reason why they're 99 cents, right? 99 cents, brand new. And these things have some really cool features. Brand new. It even smells like faraway factories. It even smells foreign. But I can tell you what, for 99 cents, I'm pretty accepting as a human being of quality, okay? Now, whether or not this thing's a fire hazard, that's a whole different thing. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. Let's adjust you guys up a little bit so y'all can see. Okay. So this is a surge suppressor with some cool features. And when I bought it, I didn't even know about these cool features. So I'm probably going to go back and buy more. And maybe you want to go to your Goodwill, because what I think happened is this company Greenlight folded, or they donated a whole bunch of these to Goodwill. And that's why they're just trying to unload them at 99 cents each. If these were $5 each, this would be a steal of a deal. So not only is it a 7 outlet power strip, but it has a switching capability. Not this switch. It has this switch. Notice the print. It says always on outlets. 2 of them. Here's the control outlet, and then I have 4, including a far one for the DC power strips, or the DC adapters. These are switched outlets, which means when you turn this device right here on, these ones here will click on. How cool is that? I could use this all over throughout my house. You turn on, let's say, your TV, and all of a sudden your DVD player and all that, they turn on as well. Or you make arcade cabinets like I do, and you turn on your master, and all of a sudden everything else is switched on. No need to wire up solid state relays and all that. How cool is this? So guys, first off, let's just talk a little bit about the power cord and some of the strengths and weaknesses about it. First off, it is not the lightest thing in the world. It kind of feels heavy. It does, and it should, because if it's got relays inside it, it's going to feel heavy. It's got a molded plug and solid blades on the plug. Overall, and it feels quality. Like on cheaper power strips, you can like rip the tongs off. This guy feels pretty good. It says that it is, go ahead. Of course, they molded it right where the description is. We have 14 gauge. So it's 14 gauge. Okay. 300 volt Yanyang electrical appliance, yada yada. What do you think? Should we tear it apart? Let's do it. Let's tear right into it. I'm way too curious about what's going on. That's a lot of... Normally I'd probably hook this guy up to my drill and just zip these guys out real quick. So I've got 8 fasteners. And of course I'm using my multi-driver with a number 2 Phillips head on it, because these are not the largest openings. In fact, this right here is a typical number 2. You See it? How it doesn't really want to go in the hole? So that's a typical number 2 bit. Man, again, that's that Milwaukee. It's what, a 27-in-1? Gets that number 2 Phillips right in there. I dig it. All right, wow. These are in pretty good. All right, what do you think? You expect any surprises? I don't know. I'm trying to wonder, why is it that these were sitting at a Goodwill? Because usually something like that would happen when the company's folding, going under. That would mean electrical hazards. Okay, so we have a typical pinch brass bus bar. The soldering looks fantastic. Grounding, meh. Yeah, that is super thin. Super thin, the brass. That is probably some of the thinnest brass I've ever seen in an electrical appliance. But if this is something where you're not going to be plugging and unplugging all the time, you're going to plug stuff in and leave it, this might be perfectly fine. Obviously, medical grade is a whole different level. And with medical grade, we have to worry about things being plugged and unplugged constantly. So I've got a really solid ground connection. And up here, we've got really good solder joints on the power switch. You see that? I mean, it's got strain relief built in by the pinch of the back cover. You can see it really hit pretty good too. I mean, this doesn't have all the signs of a good product normally. I mean, except for maybe the bus bars are thinner metal than what I'd prefer. But normally you would see like rosin on the back of the PCB. This looks clean. It looks really clean. Take a look at that, guys. We've got proper cutaways for high voltage. And I don't know if I can get that out, guys. Those wires are running kind of tight. I'll tell you, let's pull up the buses. You can see how the hots are wired differently for monitoring right there. It's on its own separate. The neutral is on a bus, but the hot right here is going to be separate. And when that one kicks on, then this one here turns on. Okay, let's pull up the ground. Yeah, those are thin. Those are really thin. Okay, all right. So that should be it. I don't want to desolder that power switch. Okay, well, we're gonna have to just bend it where the power switch is and deal with it, right? So, okay, interesting. I was thinking that they were going to use a resistor to detect current, but you can see here that they have a current detecting coil, and you have a relay here, and it looks like it is 12 amps, 250 volts. So and it says it does 10 amps at 28 volts, 15 amps at 125 volts. So it's not a slouch of a relay, but I mean, when you are plugging that many things in, just remember, like, you can eat up those amps pretty quick. So we have some inrush resistance. We have a little tiny transistor right there. He's going to be switching something. I wonder if he's just switching on this light. I bet you that's what he's doing. And that light is surge suppression is the top one, ground. So when you have a proper ground, it kicks this guy on right here. Wow, it's way more complex than a typical power strip. And yet, right here's the little detecting transistor right there. So it reads from the coil is when this guy develops a current and induces it into the coil, and then that's just enough to trip this little transistor, which sets off the relay and turns on the 3, or yeah, the 4 right here. So it turns this guy on. You can actually see it right there coming out of the relay. Cool stuff. It's built well. Take a look. They got shrink tube on the larger components. Everything is mounted really close to the PCB, and they use a current transformer to detect current. Whoa, folks. How cool is that? That is the Tier 1 Advanced Power Strip. I found it here at my local Goodwill. Maybe you want to go check out your Goodwill and see if they have them at your place too. I bet you they do, because I bet you they got hundreds of thousands of these, and that's why they're trying to unload them at 99 cents each. Interesting. Well, folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and also, I appreciate all the thumbs up.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below with what you'd like to see in future videos.